Hello and welcome to another edition of Monticello Minute Unscripted. I'm your host Keith Wallace, and as always we're coming to you from the Advanced Printing Studios right off the square in beautiful downtown Monticello. My guest today is from Union Bank, and she has just recently, I believe, celebrated 31 years of service with the bank. A lot of you may know her, but those of you who may not, her name is Gail Hooker. Welcome to the show, Gail.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
If you would, Gail, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I moved to Monticello probably about 31 years ago, about the time I started working at Union Bank. Used to joke and tell everyone that when I first started, the president and several people called me Kiddo. But after 31 years now, everybody calls me Miss Gail. So
You lost that nickname,
I lost the nickname. I'm no longer the Kiddo. So I've been with Union Bank 31 years, and I'm Vice President, Trust Officer, and Grand Club Director.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you in Monticello for so long, and to be part of an institution that goes way back in this town. It's over 100 years, obviously, that Union Bank has been here serving Southeast Arkansas. I know that the bank does a lot of different things. A lot of different financial offices are located in there. But if you could, just kind of tell us a little bit about what the trust office does.
Okay, well, the trust services, what we do is we provide fiduciary services, which is a legal bound to manage and property and assets for someone else's benefit. And a fiduciary power is the high standard, where it's the high standard of loyalty and of care, and we have to do what is best for our beneficiaries and our clients' needs.
So just another situation where right here locally, Union Bank is able to cover every need that anybody would have financially, whether they need to set up a trust or take care of an account that way. You've got people that have been on staff and been involved in that for literally decades,
yes.
Ready to help. And I think that's special. It's something we have in our hometown, which in our community, where people don't have to get online and look elsewhere to try to have their financial questions answered. There's people right here that have been in place for many years that can help them and help them along their way. So,
yes. Well, so not every bank has a trust department.
Well, there you go. Okay.
And Union Bank is the only bank in town that has an active trust department.
Really?
Here in Monticello.
Wow.
So yeah, so we have several different services that we do: trust administration, and where we manage trust as a trustee. We're also executor of estates, and where we follow the probate process for a deceased person's estate, and where we pay bills, take it through the process, and then distribute the assets to the beneficiaries. We also can be guardians of minors.
Okay.
Or
wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Or disabled individuals. We're also manage IRAs, and we also can be a custodian for a self-directed IRA. So we can either manage your assets for you, or we will take care of your assets as you direct us to. If you want to invest in different stocks, bonds,
excellent,
real estate in your IRA.
Okay.
We're also a corporate trustee for municipals and school district bonds, where like if you have a school that wants to do an addition to their this building, they will sell bonds to raise that money instead of doing a loan. And we are the corporate bond issue and paying agent, so we will make those interest payments and annual principal payments for that bond issue.
Wow.
So we're also, we wear a lot of different hats in our department.
Helping you plan for current and future financial events.
Yes.
So, well, that's awesome. Definitely, Union Bank and Trust, I've always heard that, but I didn't realize what all went into the trust. So, and how special it was that Union Bank had that opportunity available. Let's talk about another special opportunity, the Grand Club.
Oh, yes.
Now, you're heavily involved in that.
Yes, I'm the Grand Club director.
Okay.
So we have a club that is for our customers that are 50 or older, and they maintain $1,000 in an account. And then they get special benefits where they'll get free checking account, free checks, and then they're also a member in our Grand Club.
Okay.
And then we have free events like bingo, bridge, bunco throughout the year. We'll plan day trips or overnight trips.
Oh, wow. Can you give us some examples of those?
Yeah, we've been to Branson, to Waco, Texas, Natchez, Mississippi.
Nice,
And
nice.
just for our seniors to have fellowship and to have something to do. So, Union Bank is definitely a bank for our community. I love working for Union Bank. I love the people I work with. And just the satisfaction of being able to help someone with their finances when they need someone the most, because a lot of people don't have someone they can trust, or a lot of my customers might not even have children. So it's very satisfying to be able to help someone.
And that's great. To do that, I think that's what everybody should do when they go into work every day, is go in to make a difference and to help other people. And, banks do so much more than, they're not just a place to cash your check or, have a savings account. All those are great things to do at the bank. But there's so much more. I think you've really touched on that with the trust department and the Grand Club. I've really enjoyed having you on. I think it's been very enlightening and a lot of information for our viewers, and I know they appreciate it, and I definitely do too. We hope to have you back now that you're a friend of the show.
Oh, that's right.
And keep doing what you do, Gail.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be right back. All right, hello. We're back with the Monticello Minute Unscripted. I've got a special guest here today, my good friend, a very talented artist, Judy Bynum. Welcome to the show, Judy.
Thank you.
For some of our viewers who may not know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Judy Bynum. I was raised in Monticello. Been here since I was 1.5 years old. So
Okay.
I think that's plenty of time, with maybe a 10-year respite in Dermott, after I married. I started school in Drew Central in my mother's first grade class, which I've always thought that was sort of neat. And then when they made a law that you couldn't live in town and go to the Drew Central school, then we switched to Monticello, and I graduated from Monticello in 1969. Went to Arkansas A&M, got a BSE in secondary math and English in 1969, and then married Bart Bynum, who was from Dermott, so we moved back to Dermott for 10 years and then to Collins halfway between, so that's where we've stayed. After I had taught several years, I decided I wanted to get certified in gifted and talented education, so I got my master's in that and my doctorate later in it as well.
That's what I was going to say. That's where I met you, when you were at Drew Central over the Gifted and Talented program.
That's right.
And how long were you a part of that program?
I was there from 1988 until, 2009.
So quite a few students that came through Drew Central had the honor of being part of that program and working with you.
Thank you.
Different gifts and different talents. It was great. I know when I was out there to have a nurturing presence and a program that would push you a little bit and kind of help you to grow a little bit and maybe do some stuff outside the comfort zone that regular classes couldn't give you. And that's obviously left a legacy there. I'm glad you're here today, because one thing that we've really wanted to spotlight on our program is how many talented people we have in our community. And we want to really talk about our authors. And I know you write a lot of poetry. I read it. We're friends on Facebook, and to get to see so many great poems that you've written just out of your head, and just depending on what's going on in the world or what's going on your front porch, and you do such a great job of coming up with that. But what we'd like to talk about today that I think is really special is how you took a situation that was going on in your life, that was a difficult situation that a lot of people have faced, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with. And you took it and was able to take that situation and use poetry and use writing to kind of break it down through the whole process of how everything went, and put it into words and have it published. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came about, how you were inspired to do that, and walk us through that journey?
Sure. In 2016, I was diagnosed with cancer, and so my daughter was a doctor at that time in Alexandria, Louisiana, and she said, we're going to go to MD Anderson in Houston, Texas. That's where we're headed. So we went down there, and sure enough, I did have ovarian cancer, and so they said I was going to have surgery just a couple of weeks later. We went down and had that done, and it's an unreal feeling to hear the word cancer. It truly is. You think you understand it, but you just sort of let other people lead you through. And after the surgery, I had to stay in the hospital a week, and then we moved into a hotel there for a few days before we left, because it's a long ways home. During that time, I had just so much medicine and things that I wasn't sleeping at all. And one night, I had moved from the bedroom into the little living room part so that my husband and daughter could sleep, and started thinking of a funny poem. And it sort of, I don't know, the rhythm of it got me, and I just found a piece of paper and I wrote it down. And so the next day I read it to my daughter, and she got tickled about it, and she said, well, did it help you write it? And I said, I sort of forgot about the cancer while I had that rhythm going. And so I thought, well, that was sort of neat. And when I went back home, again, because of the chemo basically later, I wasn't sleeping. So I would just go through the house till I got to the little couch in the kitchen, and I would sit there, and usually when I woke up, I had a poem in my head already, the first part of it, and I would just write it. That has continued. I wake up with a poem. Yeah,
it's just in your head trying to get out.
It's there, and like the other night, there was a mosquito in my ear, so I wrote a poem about a mosquito. But by the time I got through all the chemo, which was several months, and was tested, and they said that that I was a survivor. It had been cured. And I realized that I had written over 50 poems during that time. So a minister friend of mine suggested that I put them together as a book. He said, I don't know anyone else that has written a book like this while it's going on. Usually they wait till after the fact, and then they may put something together that tells about their illness. But he said, I think this could help people, because that's when you're scared or when you're unsure is when it's going on. And your poems usually have sort of an upbeat at the end.
They are. They sure are.
And he said, I think it will give people hope. And that's why I wrote it. And that was in 2018. It was 2 years after I'd had cancer. I still keep some at the house. There's a store here, all occasions, has a few there, and you can get the books through Amazon. People usually, it's not a hot item for most people. It's more of when you have someone in your family that gets cancer, and maybe Christmas is coming up. And because of that, it's a good book to give.
Let's talk a little bit more about your book. There seems to be a spiritual connection on that. I look at the title, and the title is For Thou Art With Me.
That's right.
So that obviously tells you right there that you lean a lot on spirituality with relationship with God. That helps you through these dark times and hard times, and probably helped give you the inspiration for a lot of the words.
Somebody put the words in there.
That's right.
I didn't do it.
That's right. And of course, you wrote this book. When did this book come out?
2018.
2018, so 2 years after you were diagnosed with cancer. You were able to be a cancer survivor and put out a book that could help other people on their journey. And I'm going to go tell you, I've read it. You were generous enough to give me a copy. And I'm going to tell you, it's not just cancer. It's if there's anything that is weighing you down, if you've got any type of situation in your life that seems to be overbearing and seems to be too big, I recommend this book because you can read through it. And it's just like Judy said, you forget about what's going on because you read the words and the poems are just, they're catchy, they're upbeat on the ending, and it helps to relieve your mind. And the mind and body are so closely connected. And when your body's going through something, to have the proper state of mind makes all the difference in the world if you want to beat it. So we just want to recap. The name of the book is For Thou Art With Me. It's my journey of cancer through poetry, written by Judith Lane Bynum. It is available at all occasions here in Monticello. Of course, she has hardcover and paperback. I'm sure if you wanted a copy, order a copy, you could.
You can get it on Amazon as well.
And go on Amazon. Go on Amazon. Just a great story and a great testament of an author right here in Drew County, right here in our community, who was able to take something that inspired her, put it into words, and have it published. I want to thank you for coming on. I've looked forward to this conversation ever since we first talked about it a few months ago. I think you're a great ambassador for this county. Since you've moved here at 1.5 years old.
1.5 years old.
I know I've benefited a lot by the relationship we've had through the years all the way back to high school. So thank you for coming on. Have a great day, and we'll be right back. All right, and we'd like to thank you again for tuning in. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Arkansas Superior Federal Credit Union, and also Monticello Chevrolet GMC. We also want to thank our guests that came by this week, Judy Bynum and Gail Hooker. Don't forget, the Reader's Choice votes have been tallied, and that's going to be coming out pretty soon in the Advanced Monticellonian, as well as a special insert that'll be coming out. It'll be the second edition of our annual Tales of Valor that's going to be coming out in the newspaper closer to Veterans Day. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.